Hello, today we're going to learn how to write an IELTS writing task band 9 essay example. The style's academic, and the examiners will see that you can write academically. You can use this style at university, and it works for the general IELTS writing too. So we'll learn band 9 vocabulary and how to use it, understand what grammar is necessary, use the introduction to organize the essay for a 9 in task achievement and coherence and cohesion. Really important. I see a lot of students making mistakes here. Write a topic sentence that gets you a 9. Write a perfect thesis. Write out paragraphs. Write the conclusion. And check our essay against the band descriptors. These are the ones that tell you what your score will be. So we're going to check to make sure we did everything right. And actually, I haven't actually checked it yet. So we're going to check that together later. So here's our question. Nowadays, international tourism is the biggest industry in the world. Unfortunately, it creates tension rather than understanding between people from different cultures. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this opinion? Provide relevant examples where necessary. So we're going for 250 to 270. So for a full explanation of how to write the introduction, see my video in the description. The introduction is a really super important part of getting a 9. Now, in this video, I don't explain exactly what I do. I explain most of it. So here's the question, and here's the essay structure. So I got the essay structure basically by looking at the keywords. There's 2 sides, and then looking at what the question asks me to do, agree or disagree. So I'm going to say I agree. It creates tension because of these reasons. So here's the introduction. Tourist numbers are increasing exponentially around the world. This means that tourists are entering the host country, often without any cultural training or background. This essay will argue that tourism causes friction between cultures because not saying please and thank you and not lining up are not common in many countries. Okay, let's take a look at task achievement. Fully addresses all parts of the task. This should be in your mind when you make your plan and when you write your introduction, because this introduction sets the plan. They work together. Watch, it says here, because this reason, so it does cause friction, so we agree it creates tension, because not saying please and thank you and not lining up, these are our 2 paragraphs. This one and this one are not common in many cultures. Okay, so these are our 2 paragraphs. Now, again, fully addresses all parts of the task. Yes, we're doing all parts of the task. That's pretty simple, this one, agree or disagree. Presents a fully developed position. That development will happen in the paragraphs. Here, we're just setting out the organization. Coherence and cohesion. Uses cohesion in such a way that it attracts no attention. So everything fits together well. It doesn't jump from one thing to another. It's smooth, which we'll see. And successfully manages paragraphing. Skillfully manages paragraphing. Really, I mean, what is skillfully managing paragraphing? Each paragraph has a central topic and you explain it. Okay? And you'll see that in the coming paragraphs. Lexical resource, a wide range of vocabulary for a 9. Let's see. I personally don't focus too much on lexical resource in the introduction because it's something I can do later in the paragraphs. This, for me, the introduction is about writing a good, clear, strong topic sentence for the essay that's interesting and making sure that I do these 2 things that we just covered. That's my main concern in the introduction. If you're thinking about using fancy words but you make a mistake on the answering the question, you can't recover it. If you missed it, you missed it. If you didn't do great vocabulary here, it's just average, it's just a 7, it doesn't matter because in the paragraphs you have lots of time to think about what wide range of vocabulary you want to use. So we have a very natural and sophisticated control of lexical features. Look at this very natural. This is what they mean here is using academic language accurately. It doesn't mean just learning words and throwing them in there or using them inappropriately. This comes from reading, but it can also come from watching my videos and seeing how I use the words because I'm using them correctly and academically. Sophisticated control of lectural features, rare minor errors occur as only slips. There may be minor errors, we're human, we make mistakes, right? So grammar, this is a simple sentence. And it's got one word that you would say, wow, that's a wide range of vocabulary. Now, this is a more advanced grammar structure using comma often and making a comment. Tourists are entering the host country. That could be a period. Common, often without. Okay. So this comma often is commenting on entering the host country. And then we have a complex sentence because we have subject, verb, object to here. So subject, verb, object. And then we have a subordinator. This word because is a subordinator. And it's going to tell the reasons why the first part of the sentence is true. That's a complex sentence. And the complex sentence is adding to this wide range of structures. So we have simple. We have a simple sentence with a comma and an additional element. And then we have a complex sentence. And rare minor errors only as slips, no errors in there. Okay, so that introduction answers the question, uses cohesion, we organized our paragraphs, we used some good vocabulary. Where was the word? Friction is good, exponential is good, that's enough. The rest of the words are accurate, there's no mistakes, no problem. Two bigger words, let's say. And then their structures 1, 2, and 3. Simple and compound. Okay, so the introduction right there is telling the examiner, wow, 9, 9, 9, potentially a 9, already got some 9 words in there, and 2 kinds of structures. So already the introduction is looking good. Now again, I keep saying this to you guys, academic convention is not to write some people think and other people think, or to directly copy this. Go and see my video on paraphrasing. It will explain to you why directly paraphrasing this is not a good idea. I'm also putting up a video on topic sentences. All essays in academics have topic sentences. All paragraphs have topic sentences. Simply paraphrasing the question doesn't give you a topic sentence. It's bad practice. There's a video on it. Check it out. It'll get you a 9. Okay, so I've left in this, now we're ready to write the paragraph, I've left the question here. Why? Because I always reference it as I'm writing. I reference this as I'm writing. At the same time, I'm checking. That's super important to make sure that your paragraph that you're writing matches what the question asked. I'm also checking the essay structure. There it is. As I go. A 9 is about all 4 band descriptors, not just fancy writing. Okay, so that essay structure I'm going to make sure I stick to. So here is the paragraph 1. In many countries, saying please and thank you is crucial to good relations. However, in some, it is unnecessary and seen as too formal. This difference in ideologies causes a clash either way. For example, if a visitor buys a product in a duty-free shop and just grabs one from behind the shop assistant, it is seen as rude. However, for that visitor, taking what you need when you need it is what a good host lets the guest do. Unfortunately, a visitor stays for only a short period and often cannot change habits of a lifetime. As a result, the visitor and the host can feel uncomfortable. So I've finished with this word uncomfortable, tension. That matches the thesis, it matches the question, it answers the question. Now, we were talking before about development, so there's 108 words for you. Fully addresses the task, yeah, we're fully addressing this tension. Now, the second point for a 9 presents a fully developed position in answer to the question. Fully developed position. Okay, in answer to the question, yeah, we answered the question. with relevant, fully extended, and well-supported ideas. Okay, so relevant means they match the idea. Fully extended means we explain more, and well-supported means we made the argument. Now, in such a short space, all of these things are quite difficult to do. So fully develop these as much as you can. Now, the reason I don't like to write long introductions is because you need these words to fully develop the position. You need these words to give fully extended and well-supported ideas. Okay? The introduction can't do this. This can't happen in the introduction. The development happens in the paragraphs. So let's see how the idea runs. So first of all, we're talking about this action, these manners is crucial to good relations. Again, going back to the question. However, in some, as in some countries, we can drop countries here, it is unnecessary and seen as too formal. So I'm setting up the idea that there's a difference between these two countries. I used however, okay? The difference in idea causes a clash. So there's a clash, another way to say tension. And then I give an example. And I say for the host, they feel this way. However, the visitor feels this way. I'm explaining the two opposing sides. Unfortunately, a visitor stays for a short period of time. Okay, so this is saying it's not really the visitor's fault. So I'm extending this idea of the visitor doing things that seem rude. This is an extension. Okay, and then as a result, you always cap off the paragraph with the result of the situation. So this is one paragraph all about one situation and explaining why tourism creates tension. International tourism creates tension. Okay. Cohesion in such a way that it attracts no attention. Every sentence flows. You can follow it one sentence to the next. And skillfully manages paragraphing. The paragraph is well organized. We introduce the idea. We have the main idea here. The difference in ideologies causes a clash either way. That's the main idea. It's these difference in ideologies. And that's our paragraph. Okay, now let's take a look at lexical resource. Wide range of vocabulary. We have clash, we have good relations, even though it's not a big word, it's another way to say this situation. Ideologies, grabbing, uncomfortable, habits of a lifetime is a colloquial phrase. Collocation, these words always go together. Okay, so that's enough for a 9. And wide range of structures. Compound sentence. Remember in the thesis we used because. That gave us our complex. This is a compound sentence. Now we have a simple sentence. We want to make that clear point. And here we're using an if sentence, comma, it is seen as rude. So this is a complex sentence. And it's also a conditional. So, and then these are simple sentences, which are fine. The clarity is there. Okay? So all we have to do in the next paragraph is the same thing. Check the question, make sure we're on topic, look at it as we're writing, check the essay structure, happy with that. Now we're going to write lining up. And we're going to write the paragraph. So queuing or standing in line, there's two ways to say the same thing, is near and dear to the hearts of some cultures. It's seen as civilized. However, in some countries, cutting in and getting a tiny bit of business done just makes good sense. When a visitor feels rushed and needs a quick bit of information, they may feel that cutting in line is appropriate. This, however, can cause much consternation to those in the queue. As a result, tension is formed due to a habit of a lifetime that a visitor brings to a country. So here we are with a paragraph that explains the task. it answers the task. It's a fully developed position, exactly the same as the paragraph before. Oops. Sorry, my internet likes to cut out. Welcome to living in China. Right, so fully developed position. It has one point, and we explain the example of it happening, and we have the result. Cohesion, everything fits together, skillfully manages paragraphing. We have the main idea, we explain it, and then we repeat. That's it. Wide range of vocabulary. Here we have two kinds of saying, standing in line. Civilized, cutting in, tiny bit of business, consternation, causing consternation is like tension. I use tension again here, but actually I would go back and change that, I would guess. Maybe changing get a tiny bit of business done, tiny bit. I mean, it's a collocation, which is good. A wide range of structures. Again, we've already done that in the last paragraph. We have a subordinator here, subordinate clause. So we have a subject verb object, comma subject verb object. And here we have an introductory element, however, in some countries, comma. So you put your time at the beginning or place. Okay, so yeah, we know, as far as we can see, we have matched what the band 9 has asked. If you don't know what band 9 is or what it means, you can't get a 9. I mean, unless you're just a native speaker. So that's 89 words. This paragraph point is similar to the last, so that's fine that it's a bit shorter. There are different instances of the same thing, but crucially they're following the question instructions. Okay, and now we need a conclusion. In sum, tourists bring habits from their country to the host country, comma, and this may cause issues as these manners may be very different. This just repeats the things we explained in paragraphs 1 and 2. There is often little time to not only learn new behaviors, but to adopt them. Vocabulary, what else do I have? This is a compound sentence. So we've got 2 in the essay now, compound. And again, we've got the question there. We double check it. Everything's okay, good, happy. And we've got ourselves a 9. So points to practice. Use a blank word technique. So sometimes when you're writing, you can leave a blank and fill in later. Because you see, even with my writing here, I use the word tension. And actually, I would like to use a different word there. So when you're coming up on the word that you need synonyms for, you can just leave a blank there and leave it in there later. Or you can write the sentence in a different way. Always check back with the question in your plan, which we did. Review your essay at the end. Only use appropriate language, and see my video on sentence structure and to use the 3 types and add in some good vocabulary. Okay, so thank you for watching. Comment below with your introduction. Like the video, subscribe for more in the series, and good luck on your exam.